the revolutionary ankle lock system, an integrated brace built into the boots, delivering unrivaled support, protecting ligaments from twists, tears, and trauma.
Matt Lenihan for Boxing Social in association with Empire Fight Store and our Kings. We're here. Michael Conlan, it is fight week. You return to Dublin, first time since the amateurs. Yeah. How are you feeling? But I caught you a few weeks ago and you were firing on all cylinders. You're in a great place. As the week sort of got nearer, how's the sort of emotions going?
It's great, mate. I'm very calm, very relaxed. And I have a decent task ahead of me, so I'm just enjoying it. Fantastic. I got better and better as it went on, so I'm in a really good place. I'm really happy.
Relishing the opportunity as well to perform with your people, in front of them. Don't get me wrong, Belfast's great. We've all been there for the big nights, but I know you've long talked about Dublin, many moons ago before this fight got announced. There must be, aside from the fight, that element of excitement of that, this is another first for you. It is something new. It is a really good chapter for you.
Yeah, that's the nice part about it. I thought about this last night actually before I went to sleep. I was like, I haven't had anything different or new in a while. The whole start of my career was all new. It was going MSG, then you're fighting headline Chicago, headline MSG, headline Chicago, fighting Manny Pacquiao's undercard, come home fighting Belfast. Everything was always kind of new and fresh, and this feels like that again. Feels like I'm back to having something new and fresh. And Dublin is a place I've wanted to fight my whole pro career, and I'm very excited for it. But again, at the same time, it's just another ring, it's just another arena, and I just got to go and do my job.
I was going to say, that aside, it is all the same. You go in there, it's you versus another man, but does it light another fire, the fact that you know what the atmosphere is going to be like? I'm sure you think about that probably more than the fight, because it's like you said, the show before the show. But does that light another fire under you, the fact that it is there rather than something you're familiar with, or like last time where it was just to dust the cobwebs off? It must be an extra fire in you going into it.
Listen, there's an awful lot of things that are lighting fire under me at the minute. An awful lot of reasons why I want to go out there and put on a real performance. I want to get back to a world title, and this is the first step along the way. The first one back. Yes, a cobweb duster. Get in, get the rounds in, and get the job done. I've done that. This camp has been completely different. Everything has went up a level, and I've relished it. I've loved every minute of it. I've really enjoyed it, and the first time I'm really enjoying boxing in a long time, and that makes me very excited. That's the fire on me. Again, another one is you're providing for your family. You want to leave a legacy for your family, and me fighting in Dublin is part of that. So that's another one. And with the potential of big fights after this, has to be big fights after this only. I can't look past this, obviously, but I don't want to look too far ahead. But I've got Jack on my sights. Once I get rid of Jack and get it done, I wanna be in big nights.
You mentioned there's a lot of things lighting a fire up in you. You mentioned a few of the things that are with boxing. Yourself. We've seen it. I've seen it with you. The highest highs, lowest lows. The changing room after a win, the changing room after a loss, and the people that will be in and around you. I know you're very much a goal-driven person. Even when you were out the ring, you were running bloody marathons. For what reason? I don't know. You'd have to be, touched in the brain to do one of them. But do you let negative stuff from other people influence that fire, or can you block out and go, nah, this is me proving to me?
Probably when I was a little bit younger in the game, I'd say influences probably would have factored things and made me probably perform in some of the bad performances, because I was trying to look for knockouts because I was told this and people saying this, people saying that. To be honest, as the older and more mature you get and more experience in this game you get, you realise that nothing matters. Nothing. The only people whose opinions actually matter is the people who are close to you and your coaching team. And at the minute, we're all on the same page, and I'm loving it because I'm in a great place. They're in a great place. The training is going perfect. Seeing Grant's face the other day, I was laughing because he was laughing. He was like smiling, smirking. I says, "What are you smiling at?" I says, "You just know when your fighter has done everything and ticked all the boxes, and he's ready. I've got it." I says, "That's it, mate. That we're ready."
There was a moment before the last interview off camera. I'm sure you won't mind me saying. You said, "Look, I'm genuinely happy." He says, and you before we won't go into everything, but you were like, "Mate, before I am genuinely in such a good place before this fight. I'm gonna put on a proper performance." I hadn't seen that sort of side to you for a long time. I think the last one was probably, I want to say, Agurfi, Mariaga, maybe way back when. Obviously, the world title fight comes and that has its different pressures. And I know we've mentioned other stuff going on. The Gill fight the same, but this time I feel like you're back to yourself. Would you say that's a fair assessment?
Yeah, 100%. 100%. I haven't felt this way before fighting a long time. I'm completely focused on what I have to do and very confident in doing it. So whatever happens will happen. I go in there and get the performance done. That's all I know is going to happen.
You mentioned about it has to be big fights only. Now I know maybe Jack Bateson as a name doesn't scream, "Oh, this is a big fight," but it is, because this is an occasion. It's an event. We talk about all these fights where you have maybe a favourite, which you are going in, but it's a competitive fight, and the surrounding of it is, it is an event because it's Dublin. So surely, when you say big fights only after, you must have a big fight feel about you. You're not coming back on the undercard like the last fight. You're back in the main event. It's the Michael Conlan show. You're the one who's headlining the show. You're back to where you were. This is your show, top to bottom. You must have that sort of feel. I know you're after the bigger names and stuff, but there must be that feel with you.
100%. It's definitely a big night, and it will be an unbelievable night. I'm a big night fighter. I've always fought on big nights, bar the last fight, and maybe the lockdown fights, were the fights where you were like, "Geez, they're hard to get up for." This one, I'm ready. I'm raring to go. So in that sense, yes, a big fight. But I mean, when I'm saying big fight, and it's not disrespecting Jack, and I mean get back towards a world title. I know I've got a challenge in my hands because this is Jack's big opportunity, and I have so much respect for him. But if he beats me, he can go on the big things and get into the big fights and stuff like that. So, he's going to come with everything. You're going to have the best Jack Bateson in front of me, and I'm going to be the best Michael Conlan on that night. Don't worry about that. But yeah, listen, you know what I meant by it, but I know you just had to explain it for the viewers. But no, I'm ready to go for this one. This is big. This is Dublin. This is huge for me.
You're 32 now? 33. 33, sorry. 33, mate. I can't believe we're the same age. I look years younger. Jesus. Yeah, I do. You've had a bad paper round in comparison. No, you do. I'm genuinely. Do you not think a little bit younger?
You look about 40. You look about 40.
Liar. This interview was going well. You're a liar.
I still get asked Friday.
Yeah, so do I.
No, you don't. No, you don't.
Everywhere.
Not a chance.
Everywhere. There's no chance you do.
No.
Absolutely no chance.
No way.
Well, look, let's move on.
Grey beard and everything. You have grey hair. There's grey in your hair. You look no greys here, mate. You look.
Yeah, well, that's why you've got that hat on, bro. You hide them little strands on camera. Don't worry about that. And you dye your hair, but whatever. That's you. You do.
Never. Don't need to.
Oh, okay.
I'll have dark hair until I'm 60. Don't worry about that.
We'll see about that. In terms of age, we're talking about performance. Do you feel we're still to see the best year? Obviously, people talk about your performances, even ones obviously. Everyone goes back to the Leewood fight and how well you fought. Do you think we've still got a similar performance or one better than that? Do you think you can go further and that you're still to show the best version of yourself on a given night?
It's a hard one. I've had some fantastic performances over the years, and obviously taking on with age, people will question it, but it doesn't matter what people think. Um, I think with this new team I have with Grant, Pierce, everybody in the gym, Brian, it's kind of revitalised me, and I do think there is some bigger and better performances out there. If they come, they come. If they don't, they don't. I still believe there's a performance to win a world title there anyway, and that's the main thing. Whether or not they're as exciting or as entertaining as other performances, it doesn't matter. Winning a world title is the main goal, and if I get there, fantastic. If I don't, so be it. I've tried, and that's the main thing. In boxing, a lot of people give up quite easy because it is very hard. No doubt about that. It's a very, very hard game. But if you still believe it, if you still see it in here, and you can feel it, you got to go for it, man.
Did that go away from you for a bit? Because I know you've always been like, I can be a world champion, but obviously with the downs and stuff like that, was there a point where you had to get that back to go, actually, that is still I'm not making this up in my own head? Because you hear a lot of people going, look, fighters are the biggest liars ever. They always, yourself, you say, I've said this before, it's been the best camp ever. Even though this one, from the outside, from myself seeing you, it looks to have been good. But you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I get it, mate. It's like, I'd say after my last defeat, I contemplated whether I still wanted to do it and whether I still had it in me to do it. And that's why I went running. That's where I found myself, really, when I was out running 20 miles up and down hills in the pissing rain, freezing cold, in the winter. It wasn't enjoyable. But during that, I found my passion and my goals again, where I knew I still had it in me to do it. I can see it, I can feel it, and I can believe it. So I've got to go and try and achieve it. And if I do, fantastic. If I don't, so be it. I'm at peace with that. As I've said, this run towards a world title is my last road to the days. If I was to lose on that journey, that would be it. And I'm at peace. There's no problem with it. But the stubbornness and the want to win a world title is the reason I'm still here, and the reason I'm still going. I'm not someone's going to listen to people say, oh, he should retire out there. You see it all the time. I don't care what anybody says. It doesn't matter. What matters is yourself in here, and what your close people think, and that's the main thing.
A couple more before we wrap this up. What have you learnt about yourself sort of the past, 18 to 24 months? You experienced a lot of shit, let's just say it. But what have you learnt about yourself, whether it be the boxing, the physical, the mental? Have you found, something different in yourself? Has it been some lessons for you?
Yeah.
Have you felt like you've maybe grown in a certain direction, or have you seen changes in yourself?
Yeah, I've definitely grown. Became at peace with things, and realised that, if you want something done, you gotta do it yourself. You gotta stand on your own 2 feet. Don't need no help. And if you're so determined and passionate about something, that you gotta take the risk to go and get it. And if you don't take the risk, you'll never know. So, I'd rather be, I wouldn't want to be, 37, 38, going, fuck, I should have went and tried it again. I should have tried it one more time. So that's why there's things there, I done a trial with Steve Smith, and he said it to me. It was I was telling him where I was at that stage, and I was like, I didn't know what other thing. He says, mate, I look back on mine and go, I should have given it one more go. And you don't want to be like that, because it's not a nice feeling. So I says, okay, you know what? I'd already made my decision, but it's like, that kind of stamps what I'm thinking. I don't want to be in that position. So, it was the right kind of feedback, which I wasn't looking for, but I got randomly, and I was like, happy days. That's exactly what I was thinking. So, I know that there is an opportunity here to still get a world title. Once that opportunity goes, it's game over. You know what I mean? And I don't care about saying that. Like, a lot of people need it and want it so much that they can't stop. I need it and I want it. but when it's time to call it a day, I will. And that's the main thing, you know. I'm sitting here. I mean, I think I'm in a better mental place than I've been in a very long time, and my knowledge around boxing and pro boxing and the business of boxing now is much more advanced. So I kind of understand how things work, and you can take the good with the bad, and find the best route and get there.
Well, you're managing fighters as well now. Is that giving you sort of a different branch in boxing to, I don't know, maybe, don't want to say take your mind off what you're doing, but you know, it's another path for you, isn't it, managing fighters? And I suppose that'll be something you do maybe long after you finished.
Yeah, listen, it is, but as I says, like I have a lot of different paths when I want to step back. You know, it's not something that I'm dependent on.
Yeah.
But you know, it is me managing fighters. It's not about a lot of managers earn it. They earn money and they're there. It's not that. It's for me managing a fighter. I think you gotta make sure they're taken care of and they fulfill their potential. Whether it's a world title or an Irish title, it doesn't matter. As long as they fulfill their potential, the job is done. That's the main thing. And whatever comes off the back at, fantastic. But I want to guide fighters in the right direction. Know all the wee potholes and slipways now where you're going, okay, don't go here, don't do that, don't do this, or do that, do this, do this. I think having the knowledge around the game and being in the game so long, it's a very easy next step.
Mm-hmm.
But also, when you're dealing with people, it's hard. And dealing with fighters, at times, it's hard because man management is a very, you know,
It's a skill.
very, very, very hard skill to master as well. But no, I think I'll fit into that role quite well. And one thing about it is I'll always have my fighter's back. Fighter comes first before anything. Fighter's my boss. I'm not the fighter's boss, and that's a problem of a lot of fighters in the world, is that they think like their manager's their boss. They're not. Not all of them, but like a lot of people think that managers are their boss, and they have to do their manager says. No, you're their boss. So whatever the fighter needs is main priority.
Right, last one. Prediction and a message to the fans. Off you go.
Michael Conlan wins by any means necessary. Possible KO, possible TKO, possible points. I never really try to force anything, so whatever comes. But you'll hear on the new Michael Conlan. A message to the fans: if you're there, get ready for an unbelievable night. And if not, tune in Channel 5, catch it. I don't even know the time. I think it'll probably start at 9. I'll probably be on 10. It's usually the way it works. But yeah, tune in because it's going to be a great night.
Michael Conlan, appreciate your time. Enjoy fight week. We will catch up after your fight.
Cheers, mate.
The revolutionary ankle lock system, an integrated brace built into the boots, delivering unrivaled support, protecting ligaments from twists, tears, and trauma.